Man, being a small creator on YouTube is probably one of the most disappointing things you could ever do to yourself in 2026. You spend hours planning, writing, editing, making the thumbnail, making a good, catchy title just for it to get 3 to 5 views. You know, it's quite disappointing, not gonna lie. Spending hours on a video just for it to bomb breaks me a little bit. You know, I feel like all this time making these videos are just gone to waste. So in today's video, I just want to talk about the things that I do so I can survive in YouTube as a small channel. Instead of worrying too much about the subscriber count, we can actually take that as an advantage. You know, think about it this way. The less set of eyes looking at you, the less pressure there is. You know, this is the most optimal time for us to be trying new things, exploring different ideas, and just using a different approach to content creation. Personally, what works for my channel is that I would make a couple gear reviews and then I would do like cinematic walk and talks like this. You know, it just breaks that loop of repetitive action, and for me, it's a breath of fresh air being able to do something different after you've done something over and over again. You know, keep experimenting, have fun, be as creative as you want to be, and eventually your people will find you. You know, keep working on a style that you actually enjoy, and when people see you have fun on the videos that you're making, then they're gonna resonate with that emotion, and that's how you make connections with the viewer. Man, it literally started raining, so like I had to leave the spot where I was filming, and then a minute later, now the sun's up. Typical Vancouver weather for you. So now that we have that drive and motivation and excitement to make the next content, so the next thing that I always look forward to is finding those little tiny room for improvement. You know, as a content creator with a small channel, there is a lot of room for improvement. But improvement doesn't happen overnight. You know, it happens incrementally every time you do something. What I like about it is not necessarily the act of finding things to improve, but being able to spot a problem and improve it later on. It could be the way I talk, the way I use my hand movements, the way I frame the shots, the way I color grade, because the smallest improvements are the ones that make the biggest difference later down the line. This had no water 30 minutes ago. I was here for so long that the water came all the way there. I was like, no wonder people are not walking by. Bro, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Alright boys, mission accomplished. Shoes are dry, but I'm soaking wet. This cannot be real, bro. That totally makes sense. I was like, why are these people not walking by? This is a trail. Why are they not walking by? And finally, with small channels, even though the audience is small, the connection is real. Whenever you go to a small YouTube channel, you know, there's this sense of closeness that you get with the creator compared to someone who has thousands or millions of subscribers. When people interact with the piece of content from a small creator, it tells us that that viewer cares about the content they're interacting with. So what that means for us creators is that we should show them our appreciation by replying to their comment. So in that way, when new viewers see the interaction in your videos, they're more likely to interact with you, adding to the conversation in the comment section. Most likely they're gonna say, man, why don't you have more subs? Why don't you have more views? This deserves a lot more. That way it kind of encourages interaction, and every interaction is important. For smaller YouTubers, you look at the comment section and it's always people like helping one another. It's that sense of a small community. You know, everyone's close, everyone's open, and I like that about YouTube. Like I said in the beginning, being a small channel on YouTube sucks, but it's got its advantages as well. Instead of focusing on the analytics, you know, we can use that time to actually improve on the things that actually matter. Alright man, I think that's it for this video. I mean, like, it rained probably 5 times on and off for the last hour that I'm shooting. Vancouver weather, man. What can I tell you? But before I head out, I want to know what keeps you going in 2026. What are the things that actually matter that we need to pay attention to? I want to hear your thoughts, and yeah, let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next video. Don't let this.